So good.
All right, so I'm just here to give my long-term review of the Common Cell Meta HT. This is not a bike check video. I have many of those. I'll kind of put the links up as we go. But this is just about the Meta in general and how it is as a hardtail and what are my personal thoughts about the bike. My background is I raced enduro for, 4 or 5 years, both in like the BC Enduro Series and the California National Enduro Series, and then of course the Canadian National Enduro Series. I love mountain biking, biked quite a while. It was all about full suspension bikes. But then I kind of, started to started to get more frustrated riding, and then I had a full-on enduro rig. At the time I was riding Evil Reckoning. I had 170 mil travel up front, 160 in the rear, 29er, XL, big bike, amazing bike, really good. But I was lacking the weekly day-to-day fun on my local trails, which is here in Vancouver, North Vancouver, which would be like Mount From or Seymour or something like that. And it was fun and all, but it just felt like I was missing something, and I just felt myself being competitive. All I cared about was being fast. All I cared about was good times and Strava and all that crap. And I just was getting more frustrated than I was having fun on a day-to-day basis. So that's where the hardtail thing all started. I was like, I wanted to go back to Easyville, like where I started biking. So I looked around online. I had like the Nuke-Proof Scout was in my mind. Marin St. Quentin was in my mind. The Dartmoor Hornet was in my mind. And then I came across the Common Cell Meta, and I was like, oh man, the Common Cell has a warehouse in Squamish. I'm like, that could work out really good. So my very first build of this bike was actually bought. It was the 2018 or 2019 Common Cell Meta Essential build. I believe it was like $1,600, and it came with a 160 millimeter Yari fork and like 11-speed drivetrain. Didn't come with a dropper post. I'll put a little like quick tab up at the top. You guys can see a bike check of that bike for the first year of me riding the Meta up somewhere around here. Anyways, I basically took that bike basically stock, out of the box, $1,600 build bike, the 160 fork, out of the box, base brakes and everything, and I did everything on that thing. I went to Utah, I did Moab, whole enchilada, countless bike parks through the States and Canada, including Whistler Bike Park, Bootleg Canyon in Vegas, the original Rampage site in Virgin, Utah. I even raced Whistler Crankworks, RDH, on all the essential Meta build. So like if you go back in my log, that's a $1,600 base bike. I think the only thing I really did to it was put a dropper on it because that build didn't come with one. And that thing took a beating. I loved it. Like I absolutely loved it. The things that I personally really love about this bike is I like alloy frames. I do like alloy frames. They're cheap, they're durable, they're stiff, and I just think hardtails look cool. The other thing I really loved about this bike is its geo numbers. It has pretty short chain stays and a decent reach, and the head tube angle is 65 degrees, which I think is like money, especially when you're running between 150 and 170 mil fork. I think it's great. The other thing that really stood out to me with this bike over all the other bikes is I'm 6'2", about 195. I do like to run my bike small, but not too small. I find in today's bikes, a lot of times when we get to XL bikes, they're huge, like really huge. So with this guy, I found in the size large, it was kind of like a big, large bike. which works out great because a lot of the times you're in the territory of like large XL. I'm always in that like weird gray area, but the large fit me perfectly. The only quarrel I had with the 2018, 2019 Meta was the seat tube was really high, and that's actually what kept me from getting the XL. Was the seat tube was just too high. Here's something interesting that probably none of you know. Anybody who's followed the very first Common Cell Meta video I put up, where I put like new bike day, and I'm running a trail called Espresso. That bike's actually an XL that I bought, believe it or not. I bought that bike, I built it, I rode it, I loved it, but I was like, fuck, I should have got the large. So I actually just bought another frame, because the frames are cheap. Like I just bought another large frame, and I just swapped all the parts over to the large frame and rode that. And I don't think I even mentioned that in any of my videos. And then I sold off the XL for really cheap. But the sweet part is when they came out with this guy, the 2021, they actually cut down that seat tube maybe 3/4 of an inch, which was rad. I'm like, oh, it's the perfect bike. It's awesome. Like I loved it. Yeah, it's great. Things I really love about the bike is the size, the geometry is great. Geometry is great. I think it looks really, really, really good, and it's super, super playful and really, really responsive. The things I don't like about the bike, there's few, but there's definitely some things I do not like about this bike. So first one being, I still think the seat tube is a little on the high side. Like, it doesn't really matter because I extend my 210 dropper out anyways, but I just think a bike looks cool when it has like a shorter seat tube. You can tell, maybe I'm the only one who feels that way. Let me know if you guys feel that way. The biggest thing I dislike about the Common Cell Meta frame is the cable routing. The cable routing is a pain in the butt, and it doesn't matter if you have an internal routing kit with the magnet or not. As soon as you route the cables to this junction right here for both the shifter derailleur and the rear brake on that side, it's a nightmare. It's a total nightmare. It's really hard. Doesn't matter which way you come in from. It's a nightmare. You'll get it eventually, but a couple swear words are definitely going to be said while you do that. The other thing I don't like too is after you thread them in, you have these big foam hoses that you have to put over top of the cables to keep them from rattling in your frame. And a lot of times, even with those hoses, those foam hoses in there, they'll still make some noise. And like as somebody who makes videos, I hate that. I hate it. It drives me absolutely insane. On my old bike, I eventually just shoved rags in the top tube to keep the cables from rattling. And even on this bike, I actually have the foam hoses on there, and I have a dish sponge, like for washing dishes, shoved just in the front of my shifter and rear brake cable to keep them from rattling around, because I hate cable rattle so much. So that's probably my number one gripe with it. Another gripe that I find kind of annoying is the rubber plugs, and I'm sure anybody who has a Meta will agree with this. The rubber plugs that you have to tap off all the holes or like make for your cables and that, they are so brittle and so weak that if you do anything with your bike more than once, you're probably going to tear or rip those rubber grommets. Real pain in the butt. But besides that, honestly, the bike's been fantastic. I love it. I really, 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 really love this bike. I got no deals. I paid everything retail. I have no sponsorship. I have none of that. Everything I pay for out of my own money. This kind of has built up to a bit of a downhill beast. And I love it, man. Like it's so good. I highly recommend it. If you're thinking about getting one, I don't think you'll be disappointed. If you have one, awesome. But this also brings me to where we are right now. So I've ridden this for the last couple of years, and I figure it's time to move on. Test some other waters, see what else is out there. So I made a couple phone calls around, talked to a few people, and this is what has kind of come from that. So hold on. on, maybe I'll do some magic here. Ready? Ah. Alright, so this is the This is the 2021 Chromag Stylus in a size large. I'm pretty fired up to try this bike. I don't know, it's gonna be weird. Like, I love the Meta. I love the Meta. Yeah, here we are, Chromag. So one of the main reasons I went to Chromag is being a Vancouver local or North Van local. Chromag is kind of like our local company. They're based out of Whistler. You know, they're kind of built for the terrain I typically ride. So to a lot of people, almost seems like a no-brainer that I would go with this brand. I didn't get a discount. I got lucky. Like bike parts, bike frames, and everything are very scarce right now. I just happened to be on the Chromag site. They had one frame in stock, and it just happened to be a large Stylus, which would have been the frame I was interested in. So I was like, called them up. I was like, hey, I see you got a frame in stock. He's like, oh, I guess we do. So I was like, oh, can I buy it? He's like, yeah, you can. I'm like, when are you gonna get more stock? He's like, maybe November. So I bought it up. I kind of was planning to just kind of keep it as a spare. But like, you know, the more digging I do, the numbers are pretty good. So this is a large, we'll just compare it to that Meta. This is a little bit lower, a little bit slacker, a little bit longer, and a little bit shorter chain stays. So that's kind of exciting. This is now a 64-degree head angle, and the chain stays, I believe on the Meta are 423. Here I believe it's 419 or 416, I can't remember, I think 419. And everything's over, lower standover, lower seat tube, and it's just kind of meant to be rocked in some burly terrain. So I'm kind of excited to throw all my parts on this and try it out. Now, that being said, there's things I love and hate about this bike as well. A couple of the things I love are obviously that's locally made, and the geometry. I actually really like the color of this thing, in that kind of army green. I believe they call it olive green. There's some things I dislike too. So believe it or not, I'm actually, and I might get hate for this, I'm not super into the look of the frame of Chromag bikes, like, or even like steel bikes in general. Like, it's not. I think a lot of aluminum frames look better than the steel frames. That's just me. The other thing I don't like is I'm not a huge steel guy. Like, steel's heavy. Like, they're really heavy. And like, I don't, like, my builds are heavy enough as they are for being like burly. Steel just adds even more weight to that. So I'm not big into that either. But, you know, like, I hear nothing but amazing things about Chromags. I know everybody talks them to be like kind of like a piece of art. But this bad boy's gonna get ridden. We're gonna push this to the max. So anyways, that's kind of what's going on. What I need from you guys now is your help. So I want you guys to comment below and let me know, what should I do? Should I continue to ride the Meta and maybe build this up mid-summer and then go from there? Or you guys say, nah man, build up the Chromag right now. Let's see how she flies. And also let me know, do you want me to try to do my best impersonation of like a dream build video? I can't guarantee it's gonna be amazing. It might be just me swearing nonstop. But you guys let me know. But until next time, positive vibes, gnarly rides, and let's give her the Meta one last send-off video, and give you guys a look at this morning's ride. So, take care. All right, squad, I hope you guys really enjoyed that kind of review of what I thought about the Meta. Just a couple of things that I forgot in this is another reason why I wanted to kind of vary over to the Chromag is because, well, the price of Meta has gone up every year. When I first bought my first frame, it was like $500. Now they're up to like $750. So that whole value thing is kind of going out the window a bit. So that's just something to think about. But regardless, enjoy the ride. Thank you so much for subscribing and following this whole journey. I love you all. The comments, the questions, everything, so amazing. And as always, stay positive, be awesome, and just go out and ride your bike. Until the next one, positive vibes, gnarly rides.
Hello. How are you?
Good. Looks like you're having a lot of fun.
Oh, it's so nice out. You have yourself a great day. Hi, Pups. How are you? How are you guys?
All right, good, thank you.
That's good. Thanks so much. You guys have a great day. Oh, no worries at all. Oh. Ha! How are you? It's like perfect out today. You guys have a great day. See you, Pops. Well, there it is. The Meta. Such an amazing bike. Absolutely love it. But, time for a change. Chromag Stylus. I'm excited, but you know, I don't know, mixed feelings. I love this bike, and I hope if you're looking to get one, or if you have one, you love it too. So, until the next one, positive vibes, naughty rides. You.